Here's some of the basic tools you're going to end up needing. Basic tools. And these tools are pretty basic. This vehicle actually has two different sets of pads. And we're going to compare the pads that come off this vehicle to these, just because it's hard to know where there's two options. The hardwares are different. That's the only difference here. The pads are all the same, but the hardwares are different. So when we get the old ones off, we're going to compare. But let's start the teardown. All I'm doing here is collapsing the caliper piston. There we go. It's starting to move. So I've opened this bleeder to allow the fluid in the caliper to go through this hose and into this container. Reason being is I don't want to damage any ABS modules. If you start collapsing calipers without doing it this way, you can actually cause some damage. And if you damage an ABS module, those are expensive, a couple $1,000s to change. So got that. Now we can take the caliper bracket off, or the caliper, excuse me. Put the bleeder boot back on. Okay. Set that safely aside. One thing you do want to watch and pay attention to is these slide pins. You want to make sure they're moving. We'll pull those out, clean them up, lubricate them again. There's that brake pad. There's the squealer. That right there was making contact, causing the noise. I don't know if you can even see where it's been touching on that tip of that squealer. Take the hardware off. These slide pins will get cleaned anytime we take them apart, and if the hardware is available, we will replace the hardware every time. We clean this up as well. As you can see, we'll wipe that off real good. Good clean slide. Take some fresh lubricant and just lightly coat it. back in. Yes. Just like to use a wire brush. Clean it as best I can. Sometimes it's difficult because the rotor's in the way. All right, so like we talked about earlier, we had two different types of hardware. This looks like these, so we're gonna go with this one right here. Oftentimes, this is easier to do with the caliper bracket removed. But not impossible. With the bracket installed. It's also easy for them to be deceiving, because even though I thought it was those ones, turns out it's these ones. And that's why it's important to compare. See how much easier those went in? Usually if stuff starts fighting you, that's a good indication that something is wrong. Okay, it's also important to compare pads because placement is very important. As you can see, these two dots right here would actually interfere. These two dots right here would interfere with my caliper. So you want to make sure that this one actually goes on the insides because it's a nice flat surface. So we're going to lubricate our caliper bracket with a little bit of silicone lube. Just like that. We'll also lubricate anywhere that the caliper is going to come into contact with the brake pads. Quick test fit just to make sure that it's going to fit, which it will. Some additional hardware. Okie dokes. Now we just tighten it up. Rotor's resurfaced, pads replaced.